Hello, YouTube, and uh, I see there's two in the room. If you can give me a sound check, that'd be beautiful, and let me know how you're getting on as well. That'd be nice. And happy Thursday evening to everyone, and I hope you are doing well. So I've got two people in. I don't know if you can hear me, guys. Should be able to. Yeah, the mic is what. Yeah, I think so. So this evening's topics really is just to talk about what's been going on, the local elections being cancelled, situations that we find ourselves in, you know, everything that's going on, guys. So just give it a couple of minutes so everyone come in. Everyone. Both someone. Hello, Craig. So you can hear me nice and good, Craig, and if you can, how are you getting on, my friend? Doka, hello, mate. And Doka, I'm definitely onto that. I am putting on the WhatsApp, but I've been with power on and off, my old mate, to be honest with you. I've had a generator all today. Hello, Haley Ward, all the way from Washington. I hope you're keeping well. So as I was saying, excuse me, guys, to Craig. Craig, your situation with that tumor, my old mate. I hope everything's fine and they can deal with it, mate. Be nice to know. And how's the weather out there in Washington? Is it snowy? So, what do you guys think about the cancelling of these local elections for until 2027 or 28, wherever it is? Snowy up in Manchester's cold. Yeah, it's cold and rainy here, Haley. I'm in Scotland, and to be honest, I think I prefer a bit of the snow than the damp. What I was gonna miss tonight looking up. Oh, blessed. Okay, man. Enjoy your time with your grandkid. Hello, Sharon. Yeah, Haley, it's true, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, it's nice, crispy white snow. It's lovely. But when it's all damp and grey and that, it gets me a bit down, to be honest with you guys. But I hope you're all keeping well. I'm surprised, Doka, that it's not your granddaughter that's tired. It's not you that's all worn out. So have you all getting your decorations up now, have you? Yeah, exactly, Haley. I've always travelled to Scotland this summer, never been. Well, the weather in the summer, if we're lucky, because we are a bit partial where I am to having 2 or 3 year winters, but when we do have a summer in the borders of Scotland, it is beautiful, and I would highly recommend it to anyone. Yes, especially if you're coming here. I mean, it's a lot hotter down in London, but well, I wouldn't recommend London. Oh, for Suffolk. Well, I've already had snow this year. Yeah, I know, Doka. I mean, how can anyone? I mean, this is what petrifies me, guys. That's what I've been saying about. I don't believe there's a general election coming. I think this government's so sinister. Cancelling these elections just the start of it. I mean, they're just nasty, nasty, and I just don't see it. I see them dragging us into a war. To be honest, me and my daughter. Bloody hell, Craig. Well, as long as they can do with it, I mean, to be honest, I don't know what to say, mate. I don't know. I mean, with everything I had with the council, I don't want to block anyone. But it's petrifying, I know, mate. But you've got to stay strong and positive-minded, mate. A right, strong, positive mindset, and try not let it drag you down, mate. You've really got to fight that. Yes, Hayley, we are. Unfortunately, we are in scary times. But at least in America, you've got Trump. To be honest with you, I mean, we've got Stalin and Lammy and all of that. At least you ain't got none of that. God help us if he didn't win. I don't know where we would be. Hackney. Well, Hackney, Doug, I used to have a shop in Kenworthy Road in Hackney, many in the 90s, and it was rough then. I'd hate to imagine to see what it's like now. I should imagine it's quite scary. But when I was it the 13th, wasn't it, or September, when that was the last time I was in London town, and the West End and all around that part of the way of town is just grimy and dirty. Oh no, Sharon, it is, isn't it? It bloody petrifies me, but you got to tell him, Sharon, how important it is. Just as you told me, guys, remember with my cancer, you know, how you can't let it get on your nut, and that's no pun intended, mate. You've got to really stay positive and just keep yourself busy. I mean, that's one of the reasons I do this. I mean, I do this. I'm not thinking about other morbid, stupid shit. You know what I mean, mate? And that's what you got to do. You got to stay strong, mate. And, you know, and you've had a bad run of luck as it is, and hopefully this is the end of it. So that's 6 in there. Oh, bless. Yeah, we're a nice little community, Hayley. You'll find we've got quite a few Americans amongst us, to be honest. And yeah, we're all nice and friendly. Bless. But yeah, it's as Doka was saying, it makes my blood boil stopping elections. That really, I'm petrified for us guys. I really am. And now they've arrested a whole load of guys making materials, and I see it's far right they connected it to. And you know, if people are getting geared up for that, that's the last thing you want, of course. But you know, do they really think the population of this great country will sit on its backside? No. You know, and this is all the government. If the government, with the lying they've done, and it's been so blatant, the thieving, the dodgy deals, who they're breaking bread with, and everything. If we had any sort of people with a bit of backbone, or a king with a bit of some crystals, you know, would have this sorted out and call an election. I don't care. Even get reform in and just let them do the job. I don't give a shit what anyone's got to say. Anyone's got to be. I mean, I think that the cast, the Rainbow Crew would do better in government than this a lot. And how they're getting away with what she's done with the budget and him, and they lied about the black hole and everything, and they're not in jail, I don't know. If me, you, or any of us did that in a private setting or out on Civvy Street in any way or form, we'd be in jail. That's manipulating the markets, the money markets, causing alarm and distress to how many people? How many people did that put in misery? I ask you a stupid question. What do you guys about the king? That's crazy. Oh, I could tell you about the king. I think he's a wet wipe prat. And to be honest with you, Hayley, from a monarchist to someone that really I've got no time for him whatsoever. He's a weak, He's always bending over backwards for Islam when he's Church of England, and he's an utter disgrace. And to be honest, it should have gone to his sister. Should have gone to Anne, to be honest, and then they may have had a chance. But if he could walk up that street and do something about our present government, everything that he has done would be forgiven. I'm certain that he would go down in history as one of the most successful, best, most loved kings ever known of mankind. But he won't, because he is dodgy, he is compromised. And cancelling elections, that's not democratic, is it? You know, at least with you American guys, at least you've got certain amendments, and if that happened, you lot would kick off. You know, us sometimes it's over the British upper lip, it costs us. Exactly, Sharon, mate. Craig, I tell you what, as well, this mob, old ragtag mob of us, I'm not being funny, but all through my last year of my, you know, guys, everything I went through, nothing taken away from Craig or anything of the sort, but they're a good old crew here, Craig, and if you need to reach out, mate, reach out and everyone will talk back. Hello, bro. What are my thoughts on Charlie Kirk? Well, to be honest, I enjoyed and I liked Charlie Kirk, and my thoughts are that it's bang out of order what happened to him. And I should have just had a debate with the man. God rest his soul. I mean, I'm sorry, but assassinating people just beyond the pale. But yeah, I love Charlie Kirk, to be honest, and I used to love watching him because he'd give anyone a crack, and he wouldn't like put them down or put you down, but he would educate you and also encourage you and thank you for asking that question. And if you take it gracefully when he told you that you was wrong and accepted it, he was very courteous and quite polite. I thought he was an all right geezer. No, Doka. I mean, no black hole. I mean, I personally think there's an industrial scale money laundering system where everyone's getting backhanders. I think they're all corrupt. I honestly do. I just don't. Sometimes I just think what's happening. It can't be allowed to happen unless we're all in on it, and we all better just shut up and, you know, we'll be ploughing the field soon. Yeah, the Rent Boys, Craig. Put a thing up on X a couple of days ago about them three guys, but it's very strange. I mean, put that aside. Anyone knowing this country prime minister's address and former vehicle's registration number is saying that he's been up to a lot of skullduggery, and that's not on, and that is we've been compromised at the highest order there, and well. But as you say, everything to do with that man, he's like the Teflon Don, isn't he? Everything just bounces off him. They make the law. And now what's another scary thing? They're taking away the vote, guys, and it's just come to mind. You've got Lammy the clown who eats all the cakes. You've got him doing the justice system now. So there certain individuals will get a trial by jury and other individuals won't get a trial by jury. And you know exactly what that's the writing on the wall there. You know, that's for the likes of me, you know, if we speak or show any, you know, disrespect to our dear leaders, and then I'm sure we'll all end up in the gulag. Yeah, Sharon, the king is very, very dodgy. I got that. I always thought of King, but he's always been Prince Charles ever since I was born. And as you all know, like your good selves, and he's always been a bit weird and off his nut. But I was watching that thing about Jimmy Now Then, that documentary on him. And I've watched a couple, and that relationship that the King had with him wasn't healthy. And also, then if you had a look back to his uncle, is it Mountbatten, and him and what he got up to when um, England had, or Britain had the empire. Was it the Raj or whatever in India? He was a bit of a bit of a deviant, I think. And I just think that from birth and now, I just think he's a complete wrong one. Well, the British people love Charlie Kirk, mate, and the majority of people in Britain as well like Trump. We're British are very similar to your good selves. You're Republicans, man. We just want a good old life where we can all live in safety, harmony. Everyone have a fair crack at the whip and law and order, and just crack on. But what's happening in Great Britain at the moment is extremely scary, and it's a sort of unholy alliance between like a commie Marxist sort of government mixed with a bit of Islamic and something extremely sinister. I do believe there's something sinister with these hotels. The more and more I look into it, and the more and more that crime that's totally statistically proven without doubt that it's coming from these hotels where all these guys are congregating and we're accommodating them and putting them up in. And I don't know, they will get a trial by jury and everyone else won't. And I just think that they. And how comes as well with these hotels? Have you noticed every security guard now is one of these foreign guys? I mean, is that to sort of get us used to things to come? Yeah, bro, man. You listen, mate. Go and on YouTube, September the 13th, and go and have a look. Just put in tributes to Charlie Kirk, and then I think you'll get a sense of exactly what the British patriots think of Charlie Kirk, and then do the same in YouTube or whatever it is, Google, and do it on President Trump when he won the election, and do previously about how the British were well behind in the MAGA movement and all that. I mean, you've got to remember the Americans, Democrats, or well, you're like they're like our Labour Party that's in power now, and that's what you dodged. You dodged out on steroids, being the main man. Yeah, Craig. I don't blame you. And you know what, mate? I can't wait to get that pic. See that pic of you with your feet plotted up on that beach out there, wherever it's going to be, right? Having a pina colada, mate, and just chilling out. I think you've earned it. You just got to take you off the front line, mate. Exactly, Doug. I've been tried by a jury as well, and to be honest, even when you went to a magistrate's court and it wasn't a jury and they were going to whack down the sentence on you, you had three that were in there and they had a discussion. I mean, what about if the person just doesn't like you? I mean, sometimes you could walk in a room and someone just totally dislikes you, or you've got a tattoo they don't agree with, or you've got a skin colour you don't agree with. We're going backwards with the justice system doing that. That is extremely cynical. And I just wish the Americans would say a little bit more and to come and help us. To be honest with you, but again, they've got so much to do with good selves over there. But I really wish, because it's only when Elon or Trump say something that or the Americans start kicking off about something, their press, that our lot do anything, and then the minute it's forgotten about, it comes back double hard on us. Yeah, Doki, Mount Batterberg. Yeah, he did, didn't he, mate? Yeah, I've seen a lot about him. Seen a lot about him, and that was it. If you get brought up and you don't know anything different, I think Charlie may be one of them, and he just doesn't. I don't know. He doesn't. When you say 2 and 2 with Charlie, I come to 5 with him. Yeah, more hanging about. Yeah. Should be in the shadows working around, hopefully. Have you guys heard of ice? Haley, I've seen ice. Yeah, and I've heard of ice, but that's like your I don't know, is it like an immigration and to do with things? But I don't know what's happening with them, but I really don't know. I really don't know. I do believe that every illegal should be rounded up and sent back because I think the high crime rates and the danger to the women and the kids way outnumbers their feelings. And I think Trump's right, but mopping up people that have got papers, have done all right, is not the way to go. I'm sorry. I think there's other ways to do it, but that's Trump for you. He's a bit gun ho, isn't he? I mean, he's in it to win it. He don't. I mean, I'm still laughing over. Well, not laughing, but still in shock, but laughing with shock with him on the plane, Air Force One, and he called the female reporter Piggy, and he went, "Yes, Miss Piggy." And the way he done it, he doesn't give a hoot, does he? At times, but at least he's on our side. Yeah, Craig gets settled, as Sharon says, mate. Just get settled, Craig, and I think. I don't know about Craig White because I've seen some inside footage from the hotels with them with the actual is it SIA badges. People that do them courses actually going in to the hotels, in their conference room and them doing the courses, and then they get extras like for working from them and doing it at the hotel. I don't think they're fake, mate, but I think they've totally diluted that safety thing. That was in for a purpose, all that SIA. Stop people getting killed in nightclubs and things like that by rogue bouncers or steroid nutters. And now you've got all these mad lunatics jumping at you, and they're very protective. Yes, Stoker, we do need a gun hold bill to fall. Stop the buggeroonies before as Churchill said, fight them on the beaches and fight them on the landing grounds and all that. But they've already passed that. They're in our cities, mate. They're in our cities. They're in our caravan parks. They're in our hotels, our houses, our mobile occupations. All these new builds that are going up. It's all for them. No, Haley, Trump. He doesn't. He really doesn't give a tinkers about what anyone thinks. It's his way or the highway. He has regular falling outs with people, but you know what? He gets things done, and he does make. He is making America a better place. Could you imagine if it was going exactly like how it is now, and how nasty and how out of control it would get very lively and quickly with the Americans, especially with certain amendments. You guys don't take certain things too lightly. Not like us British, we step back and we wait, we keep quiet, we, stiff upper lip and all that. You guys are gun ho, and that's on a good day. Haley, it's great speaking to you, and you have a blessed day. And I'm sure everyone else is wishing you the same. And please drop in again, and you're more than welcome. Oh, bless. See, we get a couple of American visitors every now and then. That's nice, guys. You know that. Have you heard? Craig, True Patriots. I think I was one of their first subscribers, to be honest with you, mate. I shared them over to X. To be honest, yeah, so I have heard of that, True Patriots. Extremely good, and I recommend them, Craig, as you said. They're great, and them songs are funny sometimes. Sharon, um, the way to stop the boats, right, and stop all of this is get all these buggeroonies out of this country and stop the welfare, right? And that would stop. The majority of people are just doing a back turn and leave. They will go. And if it means offering them a grand and they just go, let them have it. Just to let them go. Let them go and we'll just take the loss. We are, Doga. We are polite. We are reserved. And that's what makes us what we are. But we're cold, we're calculated, and we're cunning. And we bide our time and we watch. And steaming out like headless chickens, we just get picked off, mate. We get picked off. We wouldn't have a chance in hell. We've got to try somehow get organised. Hence why I go on about community, so you can get to know your neighbours. You know, I mean, like perfect example is the Pink Ladies. I mean, they're getting regional now, and that's exactly how I'd love to the community to get. And you can, you know, community interest, community groups, community self-defence, neighbourhood watch. You know, and these caravan parks, these HMOs, all these new builds that they're going into. Everywhere they go, just name and shame them for future boycotting them, and then you know, have eyes on. And if anything, it will slow down the maniacs that are within. If anything, if just one of them guys thinks I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to go berserk and do all that because they suspect that there's 300 eyes on them, you know what? That's job well done. That's mission accomplished. But we cannot be no longer sitting about idle, no longer talking about it. I like us all to just, you know, all getting fit, all getting into shape, all getting organised, and you know, all getting switched on. But you guys in the chat, you all switched on. You're past that stage, and it's like it's left to us to sort of try to wake up the rest. But I think with this Operation Scatter and the way they're doing it, guys, I think they're going to organically wake up the masses. They're going to be waking up people now that it's never been in their little shire. It's never been in their little town, their village, and all of that. And now they're moving hundreds at a time into these places. And when the crime rates go up, you know what they're like. They ain't going to take all that. And that's why they're trying to cancel the elections. Excuse me. Doka, Sharon's bang on, mate. If we stopped all the welfare, just stopped it, right? Okay, all of that lot, just make them all exempt, okay? And, you know, forget their rights and all that, just to stop that. That would stop the immigration. And then about our own population, about the welfare, we've got to jiggle it so as it pays to work, but we don't starve to death if we can't find work. There's got to be plenty of work because I was out and about, I'm looking at that AI, guys, and I'm getting a bit scared of that because that is getting bigger. I went into a supermarket yesterday and had a trolley full of stuff. The queue was going out the back door, and there was one checkout, and the rest was one woman in charge of about 40 of these self-serving stuff. And that used to be like everyone's sort of like, you know, in their 50s to 60s, you know, them sort of twilight years, a few years. Like me personally, I could do with a little number like that at the moment, you know, after the cancer thing, you know, like a check, you know what I mean? But they're gone. Yeah, they were legit. Because maybe, Craig, they're mostly because of all on benefits. They're mostly getting paid out of public purse to also be doing the SAA. So they don't want to give out their identification because it will be out of the bag, mate. I just don't believe anything that the government says about these dudes. I think there's another agenda, and I really do, and that's what I'm ready for. God help me, because it seems that I will be just one man army with it. I have found the sound of all. Yes, Stoker, people are slowly but surely waking up to the fact of what's going on. But that's what we've got to do. We've got to build community, mate. And also we've got to be very careful in how we speak, guys. Because we get passionate. We are passionate. We've been going on for how many years? You know what I mean? We're talking about it, and people are starting to realise it. Now we've just got to start bringing it in. So, like, broach a subject of, elderly, how you getting on with the budget, your fuel, and and you can get talking as how you doing under this government, and you can just take it from there. We just got to take it thingy and not sound like them cult members. But I honestly do believe they keep saying he keeps saying he's worrying me, guys. He keeps saying that he's in for the long term with elections, and then he's cancelling elections. Then he's got this digital ID, and he's going to make it mandatory. And I really feel that he's going to got a trick up there, and either a war or going to do the digital ID. That if we don't get it, we won't be able to vote. So we all got to get it then, guys, just to get the buggers back. But I just think he's up to something sinister, and I honestly do hand on heart wish that I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong on that one, but I've got a feeling. I've been saying for how long? Well, some of you guys, you guys have watched my videos. How long have I been saying about the elections? From the last time they done it, the last summer, didn't they? Yeah, Sharon is. Hey, I think we can go too far with it. I've been watching some nutty crap with it, played with it, and I'm as thick as two planks. But I even made an AI video, and that was quite funny. I even put in a photo on one of the machines and made my photo started moving my glasses on and off. But I think it could be taken too far, and we might be just a little bit too smart for our own good with this one. And this software is programmed to sort of better itself and think of a better solution. And I don't know. I think it could be good for us and bad for us, especially on the employment front. Can you imagine it? All the supermarkets. How many? I know. I think it would be last year. I was talking about it, and it was that year. So I think it was last year. Tesco's let 4,000 people go in jobs like those ladies that did the old checkouts and all that. A nice bit of penny money. Right, I've all lost them little numbers to them self-checkout. And I mean, who in their right mind wants to have an half day's graft, go out and do your shopping, be demoralised enough at the prices and all that. And then they've got the cheek now to make you pack your own bags, check yourself out, right, and have to wait around for an assistant to come about 40 times. You know what I mean? I just think it's a bit nuts. Oh, so you work in that sort of environment, so you'll know firsthand. Yeah, I usually don't use self-service, but the other day when I was out, and that was only one, and then all the rest, it was the only option really. And I hate using cards as well, Doka, to be honest with you, mate. I just use it if I'm going to use it, like if I was usual life. But bloody hell, I watch some people and they get their phone out, and I don't even know where they go. Yeah, I worked in that environment for a well-known store many years ago when I was younger, and all very bitchy, Sharon. But yeah, they blame your customers are complete arseholes, to be honest. And the customer's always right. Well, that's a load of waffle. Doka, you're right. I'm passionate. Yeah, exactly right, Doka. You know, because you're passionate, we're passionate about it. They confuse it with anger, and then 1 decibel a little bit too high, and then you're a raging lunatic, and then a bit of DNA anywhere, and then you're on a rampage. So you just got to use it cold and calculated. And as I say in the videos, play them at the same game. You know, don't get in an argument with them and all that shenanigans, because you will not win. Not because they're right and we're wrong, because we'd admit we was wrong and we'd agree with them. But there's no, it's like talking to a brick wall with them. You know what I mean? They don't see no other way. And as with the cult members with the SNP as well, they're the same. Well, Doka, I mean, Sonic, not Doka. Craig, your old man, God bless his soul. I think he had the right idea. I think a lot more. I think 1 every 10 yards with high sights, but I dream of that on a nightly. You know what I mean? Stopping them boats. So I see the boys doing those little videos that are coming up where they're all steaming out and they're doing good luck to them. But how long before do you think that they'll be nicked for something when the gang's out there? Ain't It's the government, guys. It's the government. Oh, that's good if they move a man shower to other departments. But I did hear about the Tesco one. But that was the other year. But if they're moving them around, I mean, that's fair income, isn't it? But yeah, they do use that. They take it to they take their self service to another extreme. But to be honest with you, right, mate, though, I was out. Yeah, the other day I said at a supermarket, and this is what they had as a security was a cardboard cutout of a police officer. And I was looking at it and I was thinking, you know what? If I was thinking of another way and I didn't have a kids and I was such an old git and all that, and slip over and fall over or something, but how easy it would be just to bowl out the shop, just to bowl out. Oh, a large orange one, do you? Shouting, oh, bless. Yeah, I've been thinking of investing in Apple or Elon. To be honest, Craig, I've been a fan of Elon for a long while. On his business savvy thing. I've been watching him closely. If I was to go into anything, I would go him because I think Apple got up for a little bit of a comeuppance. And I'll go with Elon. But with Elon, I would try to swerve the Tesla. You know what I mean? And try to get into his Starlink and his mobile phones that are coming and that Starlink because that is amazing. And I think that is going to catch on and become, give it another 5 to 10 years, become something quite big in people's lives. Yeah, but exactly, Sharon. It's usually the company's faults. They come out of all these nutty ideas and all these new policies, but then you've got to enforce them, and you get nothing but grief. That's one thing of the environment I don't miss, to be honest. I don't want that. I just wish everyone would get on. I know it's hard. I don't mind a Barney and a gossip up, but you know what I mean. Jesus Christ, the way things are, do my nothing. We ain't up shit creek without a paddle. Craig, well, the country in general, I think we are. I think it's going to get very messy before it gets better. And I pray that there's powers to be that would invoke, some form of, I don't know, friendly legal. You know what I mean, guys? Resolution to this situation we find ourselves in, because I think all of them in the house got to go. They're all a little bit unsavoury. They're all wrong uns. They're all deviants. And to be honest, I think we're past. I think all these people that have infiltrated us and compromised us, and certain inquiries are not happening because there are dodgy elites. We're paying for their indiscretions. Yeah, Doka, I'll tell you what, mate. I watched some of that Elon on X, and I subscribe. A little bit geeky, I know, but I like his space program. And that's Starlink. It's off its nut. It's just sheets, and it goes off, and you can you can get the gear and rig it up, and you could be anywhere. So if you've got a clear sky and you've got a clear angle of that sky, it will find you a signal and get your power. I mean, he distributed it, when the Americans had those unfortunate, those landslides and rains on the mountainsides a couple of years ago. He sorted it out for them. Yeah, Starmer and his rent boys. I mean, I don't know. He just comes across as a bit robotic to me, that bloke. I tell you, he's really not right, is he? Hello there, Crusader Paul. You hope you're doing all right, mate. Yeah, Sharon. He's got a lot to answer, but I was looking at something else. I daren't say it concerning our dear leader, and also do your own homework on it, guys. The ex-leader of the Labour Party, right? And he got suspended a couple of years. The skullduggery that they got up and the deviant behaviour, they should be doing life sentences. But they've got super injunctions on it. I mean, and then it's all this justice system, and they're all lawyers and they're manipulated. It's so bloody obvious. But we need to sort them out. Who's a puppet there, Crusader Paul? We go, I mean, no, Stalin is. He's more than a puppet. I wouldn't even insult a puppet. I mean, but yeah, Sevens. Yeah. Well, yeah, you got to watch what you say, but yeah, history has a way of repeating itself. Yeah, Stalin, mate. Yeah, I despise the fella, mate. I despise him with all my heart. I mean, that was a protest vote, and they've lied on everything on that manifesto. I mean, is there a part of our society that has not been affected and rawly done over by this mob? I mean, pensioners, veterans, elderly, children, women, white middle-aged men, especially. You know what I mean? Everyone, they're just doing everyone over. Yes, Doka, I totally agree with you, mate. I think there's quite a lot on Stalin, and I think it's so bad that maybe that when time does change, that he might have to live in exile, mate, because I don't know, there's something nuts of not right about him. I feel like we might have to drag him out of office, to be honest with you. As Crusader Paul says, the clue's in the name. We might need to do one of them starting here. To be honest, Sharon, to be honest, we're gonna either end up with them for 5 to 10 years, mate, because of the way they cancel elections, rigging things up, and the way they're treating us, if they're allowed. But the biggest question you've got to ask yourself, are we as a people are going to sit around for another 5 to 10 more years and take this? And secondly, would we as a country and a people be able to handle it? I mean, when push comes to shove, there might be a time, hence why I say keep fit and try to keep organised, and I'm not inciting nagging, but once the powers to be make a move or remove, we might have to make a presence felt. Yes, Crusader Paul. It's bigger than him. Do you know what, mate? Right? Half that, majority of that bench, them politicians in the House, even or whatever side you want on, especially the Labour, I've looked into, they're all deviants. They're wrong uns. They've got SA things against them and signed registers. And I personally think the way they're behaving with a certain grape gang scandals, I think they may have been involved in some of that and tied up in a lot of that. And hence why there's a massive cover up because they'll be in jail. And I believe that Khan's also involved with it. And I just do. I just believe that there's something really sinister undertones going on. And that may be me being a conspiracy dickhead. Yeah, mate. Yeah, I've got pictures of him there. Savile, he likes Savile. Isn't it funny how that name is coming back to affect us in this day and age? You know what I mean? Jesus Christ. Yeah, mate. Yes, Crusader. The majority of them are, they are those, mate. They are. Wait, what would be okay? Well, Craig, I know he's already cancelling local elections, and my greatest fear is that he's going to try to drag us into some form of conflict, and hence he'll be in power because there's not a general election usually during a conflict, and hence where Ukraine comes into it and his warmongering antics. And well, we'll see what happens on that one. Large fingers, small keyboard. Exactly, mate. They do like a little juniors. I know. I know, Crusader. I mean, it's so obvious. I mean, you've got to be a goddamn idiot not to see it. And I think people choose not to see it. People think if it ain't affecting me, it's none of my business. I'll turn the other cheek. But what they don't realise is it's coming to their doorstep very lively, and they'll be turning around and instead of slagging us off and cutting us off, they'll be turning around and going, "God, those guys were right." But at that time, they've got to catch up with us. It ain't us. We've got to stop all loitering around waiting for them to finally wake up to realise that, you know what, we've got to move this train on to the next stop. And I'm not inciting nothing, but you know what, preparation and being ready for anything is self-preservation, and looking after our neighbours, checking our elderly neighbourhood watch, and looking after our women and children. That isn't unlawful. And I would say I'd argue that in a court of law, but what about if I get one of Starmer's mates, no jewellery, and they just do what they do to Tommy. They do that to all of us. Yep, Sharon agrees. To be honest, I fear that Crusader. I fear a war. I really do. Um, and also, I pray to God that Trump's the man to save the day, you know what I mean? I really do. I don't care what you think of the fella, but at the moment, he's the only one we've got a fighting chance with. Yeah, everyone that's calling for war with Russia, I feel that should be going first and taking their kin with them and everyone else that is related to them and let them go first. Like now, you've got these local authorities asking to put up refugees, right? I would be expecting all these people that's saying refugees welcome here to be making a spare room and making a nice little cozy bed next to their little children's room and for them to stay there. And we'll see how it all goes. Yeah, Craig, we've got to be very lively, mate. We can't be sitting on our hands. We've got to move on to the next stage. But things will grow bigger. And if we work within our communities, you do like Sharon, for instance, you've got the Pink Lady thing. If you can make that bigger in your area, that is the perfect foundations for you to approach people and speak to people without a rant. And you're already doing something within your community, highlighting these places and doing it for the women and for the girls to highlight danger. You're not breaking the law, you're all lawful, you ain't doing nothing stupid. Okay, but that is getting a community, and with community, when communities come strength, and when you put all the communities together, the people will win back our country. But all splintered, stuck away with a little conclave here and a conclave there and a little rally here and a rally there, we ain't gonna win shit. Me, my daughter has got a new name. Oh, your daughter's got a sense of humour, Craig, mate. Hey, methane. I like that one. Yeah, I think I'm going to nick that one. But would he, Doka? I mean, would he, mate? Would he go like Neville? I mean, Neville was done with the house was behind Churchill, and there was a love for this country. But now it seems that everyone that's in that house has only got a love for their wallet and their offshore bank account, you know, and they haven't got a love. So I don't know where we'd be with that. And you know, Chamberlain, he unfortunately he got cancer and he passed away. But you know what? Been a life of exile, and he didn't treat us and done what he did. He tried to stop it. Not like Keir. Keir's he's poking the bear. He wants a reaction, and he wants. Yeah, how we ain't been served up already, I don't know. And if you notice, if any of us got any idea where we go, if there's I mean, we've got an alarm system that goes off on our mobile, but where do we go? We've only got a few minutes to sort it out, haven't we? That's why I think they've got to go before anything. Exactly right, Sharon. Send the whole of the Labour and their voting base, but you'll find that they'll all be living abroad in their some form of their elite utopia while preaching to us that we have nothing, could be happy and just keep on the treadmill of slave labour to keep them in, you know, fresh bloody linen. Yeah, Sharon, do that. You know, and change your energy into it. Don't let it get you down. But you know, get your facts right, get everything right, and start doing that, and build up a little bit of a, you know, what you got there, and build on that. You're going in the right direction. I think you'll be very successful at that, to be honest. Doka, mate, Starmer will not even be in this country. Believe me, mate. When the next people need to get in power by hook or crook, everything that this party and everything they've had their fingers on has got to be stopped, cancelled, brakes on, and I should imagine the majority of it should be null and void. The Chagos Island deals, everything else. to go, and also we need to go through the legal system and go through all the lawyers and all of them, because we have been compromised from top to bottom, guys. We really have. Yeah, I've spoken, mate. So what? I mean, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I'll just hope I'm with my kids, but you know what I mean? But I'm not fighting. Anyone that's young enough and they don't want to fight, I'd hide them happily, because this ain't a war where we all have to do it. Or we've all got to stay here. This is where we can't be tricked. Stay here, because who are these geezers that are everywhere? And we want to go off and fight and leave our women and children here? No, no, no. Why don't they go off and fight? They want something to do. Yes, yes, Crusader Paul. Everyone is angry and extremely angry. I'm one. I'm one. I dream of the other scenario. I think of the other scenario. But what I also dream about how we can win. And we ain't gonna win if we go disorganized. We've got to be organized. And if we can get organized in our own little communities, if the time comes, we can all start getting together and then move as one, and then we'll be organised. At the moment, we're all walking around like Trigger outside that train station when they're in Margate. He didn't know what direction to go, because we just get picked off. And then hopefully there'll be powers to be, the army, there's probably people that are powers to be that have got the clout, will start something. And maybe we might need to push it along a bit. Yes, Craig. I'm double certain that I can more or less, I'll lay my hand on my heart that there is Labour surfing councillors that have actually been involved and partaken in that, the grapes, and surfing police officers also. And but I think that goes across all parties, and it's going to be one of the biggest cover-ups in our time. I mean, it's been going on for a very, very long time, and all we've ever done, and now everyone's starting to realise, and these guys think they own the place. And anyone call me a liar, just have a look at their social media. Yes, Stoke, I know he hasn't done a thing right. He really hasn't. He's done nothing right. He's done everything the opposite. I mean, everything that he's done about winning a fuel allowance, stopping local elections. You should have seen him before he got into power. He was so against it, but it's all right for them. I mean, he's quite scary, and I really do feel he may need to be dragged from office. And I'm not inciting nothing, because I've got to be very careful. I'll lose another 5,000 bloody followers. Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do, Sharon? You know what I mean? No one's going anywhere. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly right, Crusader Paul. We can't have no violence, and it's got to be a peaceful sort of transition of power. And I just feel that a lot of things are coming, and I just hope that we've got enough decent people, decent arts, and decent souls in the right places of power that can say no, it's not going to happen, because then we weren't going to get a Mr. Chamberlain moment. We're going to get a full dictatorship moment, and the slaughtering of our future generations. Yeah, exactly right, Sharon. I mean, that alert thing, have you noticed as well in all the news and that they're going on about the flu pandemic now? I mean, that one's overwhelming the national health system. What about it's all these young guys that keep shipping in on a daily that are using the national health system? What about supplying proper? I mean, there should be no excuses why elderly shouldn't be sat alone. Your people should be homeless. Veterans shouldn't be getting the help they should get. Junkies shouldn't be getting the help they should get. Alcoholics shouldn't be the help they could get because we've got the hotels, we've got the money, because we do it for all these foreign dudes that have done nothing apart from throw missiles at us and insults. That's the one, Doku. It is the invasion from within, and that's what I want everyone to get. I don't believe. I think it's being orchestrated by some very sinister peoples, and well, I don't know. Yeah, Craig, I wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I mean, it's not like they're coming here and we're catching them in you know, in technical colleges doing a bit of woodwork or something, and they're all on training courses trying to get jobs or getting jobs. We don't have that problem, do we? They seem to be just doing enough to keep them going. Some are doing work to work on the side to make their life better. We're feeding them, we're putting them up. So why are they here? What is their job? And a lot of them, they all look very fit to me. I don't see many overweight ones. I don't see many women. I don't see many children. I see quite athletic sort of guys. Uh, and we've all got to be switched on, guys, or we're going to get taken. We're going to be eaten. Hello, Vic Ram. The, the, the earlier, listen, the earlier waves of immigration to England, um, Vic, we haven't had a problem with people integrating, come here and try and earn a few quid and prosper, bring employment. And we've all seemed to get on. We had a problem here with the police and the authorities with the Caribbean communities, but that seemed to iron itself out. But people that contribute, I ain't got a problem. But people that come and start graping and attacking you and graping your women, and we're paying for this, and they're not doing nothing to contribute or become part of what we are. I don't agree with. But the future people that have been here and done everything right and are working here and contributing and got a house, working hard, and are on the same treadmill as either or any of us. You know what? There ain't a problem with them. It's the guys that are involved with the great gangs, and that's not just the Pakistani community. That is also, as I was saying, that's the Labour councillors or councillors, full stop, police, social services, and all these guys that just hate us and want us to change to look at what. Just go and live where they live like that. We live a certain way, and there's nothing wrong with living a certain way. Yeah, Sharon, COVID. Oh, well, God, I've lost another 4,000 followers, subscribers. But COVID, yeah, it was all over. It's all exaggerated to cause panic, alarm, and fear, and all that. And but no one knew, and people did know, and people didn't. There's so much to it. And I don't think we'd ever know until we're all long well gone. But answer to Big Ram is I ain't got a problem with anyone. I ain't got a problem with us, and we all can do and contribute, but not to come here and get benefits. I can't just rock up anywhere, get a free house. I wish I could, to be honest. So I don't really blame them in a way for doing it. It shouldn't be like that. I've got more than up with my government. Very evil. Yeah, it's quite sinister, some people, and the government make me scary. I mean, from years ago, they were testing in London, when I lived in London younger. They were testing chemicals and vicing, the British government in the day. Do you know they tested it on the underground system to see what they would do? No, I'm not into the jabs either, Doka, mate. No. Yeah, and the kids starving. I mean, we've got food banks are on their arse, aren't they? And I mean, and we're giving, money to everyone to go and spend on ammunition and bloody killing people. Just keep out of all of that. Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Crusader Paul. I love humans and I treat people how they treat me. I don't give a crap who you are. If you're nice to me, I'm nice to you. But I don't like ideologies. No, I don't like cults. Right with you on that one. On my mother's side, immigration in the 60s. So it could be. Exactly, Vikram. You know what I mean? So your mother's side, they immigrated in the 60s. That'd be like my mother's side that come over from the Republic of Ireland. I mean, that's exactly right, mate. I mean, there's no control. I mean, at least we was all safe and we all got told off in the same way. If you all done a crime, we all got treated the same way, right? It was a problem between the Carib black communities and the police, but that's been ironed out and we've got justice and now they've all taken it all away. Exactly, Doku. It's not the ones that integrate. There ain't a problem with them and ain't causing us no harm, no fear, not destroying things, running around like lunatics, hurting our kids, making us all jumpy and wary. Like, what's happening? I mean, they didn't live in hotels, did they? Did they get free food, phones, and moccasins and everything? God knows what else. Ain't a problem. So that is all part of the propaganda from the government. There's one response. I done a video and I was saying no one's coming to get us, and we're all in trouble. And it was one of the responses come to mind and said, "I'm a black man from South London. I'm in." That's what I'm on about. That is a working man. You know what I mean? Has had enough to himself that this needs to stop because there's something very sinister going on. I think we need to rewind it back to just before Blair got in. Oh my God, Craig, man, I'm scared of needles. Still have people doing the great not a problem. That's true, but it's never a problem. We never have Doka, mate. I mean, Doka, God, I remember I saw 1979, I think it was NF, wasn't it? And that was that. And then after that, you never saw them again. And I honestly thought all of that had gone to ground. I mean, and it's the only people that are bringing it up are the people in power. They seem to be the ones that are always bringing this up, and the left, and we're all accused of being this. I mean, one week I'm far right, the next week I'm a middle-aged white useless buggeroony, the next week I'm this. You know, I'm sick of it. I don't care anymore. Yeah, Sharon, a lot of people fell for the first jab, but after that, a lot of people woke up though. But Jesus Christ, one of your neck, Jesus. Ooh, yeah. It's a rug. Pull the whole system. Yeah, I agree with you, Crusader. Oh, man. Thanks for sharing your perspective. I feel like most people who consider themselves people aren't open to hearing measured opinion from the other side. Yeah, people are liberal, to be honest, mate. Are so far to the left that they're actually bordering on extreme right. And they're as bad as the other one. Just look at history and Mr. H and what he was all about. And you can't negotiate with them. But this is where we've all got to get community and unity and all unite and get through this. I mean, I've only ever known Great Britain. I've never known. I come from Tottenham anyway, and I got brought up in Tottenham in North London, and it's always been colourful. And I got brought up to believe it's not the colour of the tin; it's the flavour in it. And the only people that are causing division and hatred and inciting anything is the government. And we've all got this thing here, but you got to remember, we're not. We're not a load of nationalist idiots like that. None of us are, but we are. We're wide awake and we're seeing what's happening, and enough's enough. And we've got to pull up the drawbridge, mate. You know what I mean? And with everyone that was here beforehand, we need their help to help us with them. Bloody hell, Craig, you're so unlucky, man. Yeah, Doka. I think just before that, just after Thatcher walked out, when it, and then who was it, Major? I think then was the time that things really started to go. And then reference to Vic Ram's question, then there was multicultural and was very extremely present there, and it wasn't a problem. Nothing like what's happening now. And all these undocumented men scare me. And anyone that's convicted and found proven to be harming children and being complicit in it, I've got no right to get away with it. And they've all got to face justice. And I don't care what race or creed they are. And I'm sure that we would all agree with them, that one. Kids are sacred, our women are sacred. And these buggeroonies that are doing it and being put back in their thingies, that's all got to be put right. These poor girls walking around, and there's someone that's done that and done all that damage on these kids, and then they're back in their communities. Far right Starmer would have made a good wish. Yeah, Doki, yeah. I mean, those witchfires were a bit barbaric. It's the people coming league. Yeah, Craig, anyone that's coming over to earn a few quid and bet your life, mate, that's fine. But get involved and become part of it. You know what I mean? Instead of trying to pull down our Christmas decorations and stopping us celebrating them, we should be foot in the ladder and maybe passing them up and helping us put it up and, all get a bit of that old spirit back. Yeah, Doug, I think the whole world's gone mad at the moment for the last 5 years since the COVID situation. I think the whole world's gone completely nuts. Yeah, Major, yeah, off of Rena Cully. I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah, Sharon, I forgot about that one. And Rena, she was the one that done the eggs, wasn't it? Jesus, that's going back. So how old are we? Oh, is this old people's get together? Class of 42? God, I forgot about that, yeah. And that would have been a handful, Doka. Oh, he must have had his head in the bucket. Far left at the half. Oh, he's a great point. Speech. Yeah, big round. I mean, I have to join. I've had to join the speech union, and I've got to watch everything we say. We can't be inciting anything. We've got, and it's nuts. And these things, mate. If you have a look at our press, I invite you to go and have a look, and you'll see what's really happening, and then have a look at our mainstream media and what's being happening in the narrative, you'll see it's so different and so blatantly, it's a lie. This country is shameful, and I never thought that it'd go this way. The rest of Europe have moved forward and we've gone backwards. Yes, Stoker, mate. Uni's community and uni, right? It's the main thing because we're smaller groups. So you're seeing John from over the road, and you're talking. And you ain't a couple of raving lunatics and conspiring to do anything, but you've got an interest in certain things, and you want to pass and share that knowledge, and other people that are willing to want to learn that knowledge. That's the way to do it. And then you start grouping together, and you exchange numbers and all that way to communicate. And then suddenly there's a group of you, and there's a club, and you're all looking out for each other. And then you're looking at these properties and you're thinking, oh, there's a load of guys acting suspicious there. Better allow the neighbourhood to know, community on. You know, time for a little bit of the old curtain twitching is required. We need them old folk back. You know, it's a job for them. A little bit of the peep peep. You know what I mean? And keep eyes on them. And if anything untoward is going on, do what's lawful and do what's correct and report them to the authorities, whilst also notifying them the community neighbourhood watch patrol scheme. You know what I mean? Egwina. So she did do that. Yeah, I don't think anyone. I think she nearly put a whole industry out, didn't she? Because I'm not being funny. I fell for the egg one, if I remember correctly. Wow. Salmonella. That's it, Sharon. Bloody hell, Craig, man. You have just got to go and put your fudging feet up, mate. Right? And stop it. We cannot afford for you to be on the front line. We have to take 4 and 5 medics off the pitch. The party I'm referring to that's causing all the problems here in the United Kingdom, Vikram, is the Labour Party, mate. It's turned into some sort of an unholy alliance between commie Marxism, Labour, very small value, Labour values, socialistic, sort of Islamic mayhem, mate. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? But thanks for joining us from your hometown, from your homeland, mate. He has, hasn't he, Sharon? He's just got to take it easy, mate. You got to. You got to get this thing with your head, get that sorted and all sorted out, and then with your father-in-law and daughter-in-law, just go and put your feet up, mate. And you can still join in. The world ain't a big and lonely place as it used to be, but you need to just, and I don't know, just be careful. That's it, Doka. It's exactly what you've got to do. You've got to keep eyes on and everything. And then also, what comes with that, I'm not talking about vigilante. You've got people in my comments going, oh, I expect to see this and I'm expecting to be that. But what they're expecting and what they're wanting is to me get a couple of years behind the door and then go and see what silly idiot. But no, but what I'm talking about will work. You know, and you're talking to people and that's growing, and then you just got to keep it calm. You know what I mean? Because you've got to remember there are idiots and maniacs, and you don't want them part of them. But there'd be veterans, elderly people, and all start Christmas time as well is a great time to talk. And and in your little communities, in your little blocks, in your little street, your little cul-de-sac, you know what I mean? Just keep eyes on, and it makes it harder for the perpetrator of any crime, or if anyone's got a nasty fault, so they will look at certain guys too hot and then move on. And we've got to make all our communities like that. So the only way that they can misbehave are on their own doorstep, and you do not shit on your own doorstep. You know what I mean? But push it away and push it out to them neighbourhoods. And if they ain't awake, we've got to help them. Oh, Spitting Image. I love Spitting Image. I love Spitting Image. Used to love that. Yeah. That was quite a brutal puppet as well. But then again, Spitting Image now, could you imagine that now? That wouldn't be allowed now. Could you imagine a show that could, like, do that sort of sarcasm on the party? They'd have a field day with Stalin, wouldn't they? Jesus Christ. But they'd be all jail. But yeah. Spitting Image is showing our age. Nothing's changed, Doke, and that. Exactly, Doka, mate. Look, right. This would be my greatest fantasy. It was like this become regional headquarters of our communal rolled out neighbourhood. You know what I mean? Hub. And then, like, say, you're in, like, say, just for argument's sake, West Midlands, you've got your manor whipped up. We should have a map on the board. So Doka's manor's there, Sharon's manor's there, Lee's manor's there, and we've got the central. So, yeah, everything's going fine. We had this problem, we had this problem. Then you give clues what could be coming to the others, and then we could talk about it and all exchange ideas, and we all can help each other and keep an eye out on each other. And that is the way forward, right? If we all stay doing nothing. I mean, Sharon's got a perfect foundation with the Pink Ladies. You know what I mean? Going forth, you've got your Pink Lady group, and they speak to their husbands, and that is a perfect opening. You know what I mean? You're already breaking bread with other people, Doga, and you know what you're talking about. There's been people that have been in comments that speak so much sense, and and that is the way that we will get through this. Because you've got to remember, we ain't the powers to be. We are just the little ants. Right? Now, God willing, I want Khan out as mayor. And I don't care. Ant Middleton, please get him in. Right? And then I don't care who the government is, reform. I don't want Conservative. I don't want Libs. I don't want, you know what I mean. Right? But I don't think Advance are ready. And they're stalling with all this voting. And Advance don't seem to be moving in, I don't know, directions. But I'd love a unity, but we've got to get rid of them. But I think something will be said from a higher table. And then we've all got to be ready in our community groups and put up pressure and keep putting up pressure. And you've got people like Rupert Lowe, they're being brutal with it. That's up to your own discretion, Craig. But if that's your hobby, that's your hobby. You know what I mean? But make sure you've got the target there and that. But that's up to your own discretion on that comment. I'm not encouraging that, but I know what I would do. And I would be taking up a new hobby. But that's just the way I think. And I ain't going to be preaching up and down the road about being ready or anything and switching on. I am a nobody. I'm a nothing. But I tell you what, if I'm going to get served or something's going to happen, I'm going out on my feet and not on my knees. Right? And it's as simple as that. Right? End of. No problem. I don't want to go and do any bird, but if I need to go and have bird, I have bird. But I don't want that because you're non-productive. But everything within the law and being ready and ready to go when we need to go, I'm there. I'm already there. And we all should. I think I do personally believe that a lot of you are there. But Craig, I think you, mate, at the moment, you've got to start thinking about self-preservation, get yourself fit and just go. But with that, I don't know. I don't know your situation, but you've had a lot of trouble going on with you. I don't know. But if you do that, knowing you're like that, it's going to fight. Oh, I don't know. Knowing you're like it'd hit off a metal pole, come back and pierce your eye or something, knowing you. Exactly, Doka. We can't afford to be nicked, mate. We've all got to be like strategic, and I will put you in that group, Doka, right? But like, we've got to have different platforms, different methods of communications, and we've all got to stick together. People laugh, you so what, right? We might be laughing, it might be a waste of time, but you know what? It's been better to be ready for anything, guys, than not ready at all and all being turned over and mugged off. Let those others now. But I believe that there's a grand awakening and things will change. And I think next year's going to be big. And I don't see us getting to the next general election, to be totally honest with you. Exactly, Sharon. You know, none of us are up for being like, I mean, with those comments with me, well, I expect to see pictures of you doing this and doing that. No, one, would not recommend share amongst ourselves, but we don't want to give our positions away. We don't want to give our IDs away, right? And what we're doing is legal. So you've got to remember that. Always got legal. Okay. So if you want to do a rounders club, you know, bats and balls and gloves and all that, make sure you got that and enough people partaking. You organise things, you know what I mean? But we all need different platforms and we all need to commute. But that's me being an alarmist. But I was getting laughed at about 2 years before Kai. I said, something's coming. And I wish I was a bit more switched on about it. But I stockpiled and done everything. I didn't go through that. But I do believe that this government is sinister, and I think there's a very, very bad undercurrent that's coming our way. And I, for one, I'm not willing to just turn the other cheek. Nah, it's not going to happen. Exactly, Doka, mate. And that's it. If you build up little firms, we all, you know, we all got little clubs, you know what I mean? And then we all build up and then we all go and meet. We all meet and we're organised. We're all already organised because you'll have your section, I'll have my section, Shanna have her section. We all know where we're going. We all know where we're going to meet. We all got comms. We all, you know what I mean? No one will ever know what comms we're on. So don't just keep away from it. I think Tommy's got something planned in December in central London, something to do with Christmas and hymns. But I don't know. I'm waiting on my scan results anyway. But I don't know if I'll be going with that one. But I personally think we're a tad little bit past that. I'm more on the level now with the boys that have been doing overseas operations. I've seen some of their footage, and they've been attacking the boats and they're doing quite a lot, but I'm sure that they will be stopped within the next few days. But I don't know, but they're the people that we've got to wait for them to put the flags up, guys. Little guys like us, we say too much. We're going, we're off. Nah, Sharon, I've got no desire to go there at the moment, to be honest. I'm sort of walking around my man, and now I've done a lot of visiting towns and walking around and just looking. And I will be going off this very soon, but I've been doing a little walk. I don't pull the camera. I have a little walks, little mooches, walk around towns and that. And noticed I'm in a lot of borders, and they're very passionate, and I like them. I actually like the people. The people are loving, but I am noticed an invasion really, and these people ain't really switched onto it. A lot of people ain't, and I can only see it getting worse, but we're going to get bigger, and we are going to get bigger and bigger, guys. So that's why I was saying, all be careful, watch what you post, take faith in what's happening. But at the moment, we're going through, you know, everything comes to an end, but at the moment, we're going through the shit, and then something else is going to happen. We're going to go through that, and then hopefully that'll be the end of it, and then we all could go moaning about the weather and bloody flu jabs. Yeah, exactly, Sharon. Yeah, in your game, your big days, double bubble, isn't it? All business for you now. Do you think the Star Wars? To be honest, I feel that he'd be moving. I don't know. He's going to only be able to push it so far, to be honest, before everything's going to go burst. Because I, we can't be the only people that are feeling this frustration. You know what I mean? You got to think there's got to be people that are higher echelons of power that must be feeling this. And everyone I speak to from whatever part of the world, whatever part of the country, I've got people that message me from all over the world that are totally stunned with our government, totally taken aback, that I think you could knock them over with a feather. You know what I mean? And like, you know, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. I mean, and then you look into the laws about self-defense and everything, because I've taken a great interest in that, in self-defense, and everything's geared up for the villain. I mean, they even try to make it illegal to sort of defend yourself, but you know, a time is going to come when enough's enough. No, 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 no. I don't want to say too much. I'll get us into trouble. And also, guys, we have been on here now for an hour and a half, and I am going to go. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And actually, I find it quite therapeutic. I'll try to get a video out tomorrow. All depends, if I got power or not as well. And I'll let you all know my results for the old cancer. But I'm eating loads. I'm putting on weight. I've got a bit of a gut. I feel all right. So hopefully everything's fine. And Craig, I'm praying for you, my friend. I really am. You know what I mean? So you take it easy, Craig. Sharon, I love you as always, my darling. And don't let the buggers grind you out. Doka, keep calm, my son. Okay. And I'll put you in that WhatsApp group. Also, with Marcella as well. She was up today. I've got to contact her, and I'll put you in that group. And guys, just keep doing what you're doing, right? My first days wouldn't be the same. Oh, that means a lot, mate. That really does. You're more of a person. Oh, bless you, Craig. Listen, guys, I'll try my best, man, and I love you all. You know I'm all right. You know what I mean? I ain't an arsehole. Unfortunately, we're all in the same pot of shit, to be honest. And we've all got to just take out our positions and do what we've got to do. You know what I mean? And that's all it is. That's all it is. I'm no savior. I wish I was. I wish I could get us all out of it, but I ain't. But you know what? I ain't gonna let us be trod on. And I promise you that, guys. I bloody promise you that, mate. You know what I mean? If not, we'll all get to that country there and we'll get asylum there. But I love you all. I'll put a video. Please all share and all subscribe because I'm losing. I think I've lost over 100 subscribers in the last week. Don't know why. But love you all. God bless you all. And I'll try to do a video for tomorrow. If not, I'll see you on Monday and all take care. God bless you. And please be careful and don't have no trouble with anyone, please. And Craig, remember, get that sorted out. And everyone, I'll see you before Christmas. And after Doka's lovely little comment there, that's giving me a right buzz. Nice one, Doka, mate. Right. And I'll be speaking to you the next Thursday. And we'll do a live stream before Christmas. You know what I mean? I might even whack a bit of tinsel up and stop being a miserable bastard. Anyway, see you later. God bless you all. Love you loads, man. Take care. Bless them.